found out I hit a Spalding, a sewer, more than my brother did, just a few miles from here. It is truly an honor to represent my family, Laney, my parents, mom and dad, and be just a 5-minute drive from where we grew up in northern Queens in Astoria. This today is something, and it was the thing that Louis found out about before he passed away. While we were in hospice the last 10 days of his life, and we were getting news from Washington, D.C. on the bill, and we were getting calls saying things were going well, we received calls, and they said, "We're going to name a street after you." And he was on the other end of the phone, and he laughed. And he laughed, because that wasn't Lou. That wasn't Lou. Now, if you would have told him right field in Yankee Stadium, he might have gone for it. But he didn't want to be honored. He wanted us to remember, to respect, and to honor those that went before him and those that went after him. And he knew there would be many that would come after him. He was in constant contact with brothers and sisters from the job, and even people that weren't on the job that would call him or send him an email and thank him. He was constantly trying to remember, honor, respect. Those are words we listen to all the time. And it was in my brother's spirit that those words were defined to me as a fellow officer, but more importantly, as my brother. I thank the NYPD, Commissioner Shea, Chief Harrison, Chief Holmes, Commissioner Tucker, Councilman, Monsignor, it's always a pleasure to have you here with me. And Paul DiGiacomo, thank you. When you say you're only 2 seconds away, you have shown time and time again as Commissioner, your officers, that you are family. As I look out here today, I see faces from my brother's rookie years in the 108. This was his first house. This was the house that cemented what he wanted to do for the rest of his life. I got as far as talking him into taking the test and joining me in Suffolk County. Lou got 100 on that test. But he was in his 3rd year here in the 108, and there was rumblings that he wanted to go to major case in Queens in narcotics, and I couldn't budge him. This was home. The 108 was home. These streets were home. And there was no way I can talk him into coming out. From his years here, I see faces. From his years in major case narcotics, I see the faces. And from his beloved bomb squad, I see the faces. I see the faces from when he started, but I also see the same faces that were with us in the hospital at the end. That's a true Blue family. They stuck with him through his whole life. So once again, on behalf of my family, thank you for this beautiful honor. We promised him we'd continue the advocacy. And Commissioner's speech talked about the people that get sick. You stole my thunder. I promised him that I would continue. I had just retired to spend time with him. I told him I would continue the advocacy with the 9/11. And yes, many people don't know, 23 officers died that day. But Luis Alvarez was the 222nd NYPD officer to die of a 9/11 condition in 2019. a lot of people, not to mention the thousands that are sick, and the thousands that are not on the job, the hundreds of thousands, the residents, the students, the firemen. So I'm going to ask, in finishing our time here, I'm going to use it for what Luis Alvarez would use it for. I'm going to ask the government to continue to support our 9/11 survivors. Have them work with health programs to look at some of the illnesses we're seeing now on this 20th anniversary. To fund the health programs so that the new illnesses that we see popping up all the time, that we can care for those people, that we can care for those families, and we can continue to catch things early so that people don't die. Don't mourn my brother's body at the end. Celebrate his spirit. Cancer might have destroyed his body, but it raised his spirits because he knew he could fight and use that for his fellow first responders. So if you're going to remember Lou, he would want you to remember them. Thank you for your time today.